Alright, day one, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm here at Marion, Indiana, the Marion Municipal Airport. So we're going to do half-mile racing. So Clark's car here has one of my SMX engines in it, obviously. This is a drag and drive car, so quarter-mile car. Working on going sixes with this in the quarter. And then does half-mile and mile and drives the snot out of this thing. So we'll pop the hood here later, but we just got everything all set. We're gonna go out and try hitting this thing for an initial pass. Clarky's getting in the car right now. This is got twin 94mm Garrett's on it, 525 cubic inch SMX engine, but this car is like super heavy. I think the last time we weighed it was like 4,000 pounds. So, Clark, what's this car weigh?
4,000 pounds.
It's still 4,000 pounds, yes. This thing still has the OnStar in it. I mean, this is like a really stock interior type of car, too. And power windows, all glass. This is glass, all steel. That's a really pretty cool piece. That's Amy. There. And so, anyways, we're going to go out there and make a pass, and we'll start looking at data. Also have other cars here. I think some of the Dallas Performance guys are here. I think I'm gonna check that out. And then definitely Ned Dumpy is here with the Vengeance Racing guys. He must be up front already. And that's got one of my Viper engines in it. So we're gonna go over and talk to him in a little bit too. But we're gonna go up and make this pass real quick. And take a look, come back, I'll show you data and I'll show you the differences of what we're trying to do here on a half-mile event. All right, so here's Ned. And
Steve, how you
doing?
doing?
Good, how are you, buddy?
All right, so
Good.
shaking the cobwebs off here.
All right, cool. Tell us about it a little bit.
The whole build, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so the centerpiece, the Steve Morris V10. I'll tell you right now, that's where it's at. So we got a billet intake manifold on here, as you can see.
Yep.
Beautifully done, machined in. The block has been reworked, and very specially some steel deck plates put in there because these big long V10s, hang on a second, the helicopter flying over right now.
Yep.
You know, Steve, it's the paparazzi. I can't get anything done.
Can't get nothing done.
Can't get nothing done. All right, so anyways, a fully resupported, engineered lower half of this motor, which is steel deck plates, big aluminum R&R rods in there. We got Steve's special pistons. The valve train on top has been all redone, so very heavy duty. We're running twin turbo, so 94mm precisions up here.
Yep.
These are Gen 2s.
Yep.
Obviously, it's got all the usual plumbing, so air to water for the intercooler.
Oh, yep, I was gonna show that.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is what we did on this block is it's actually a steel deck plate block. I see you got a little bit of oil coming out right there.
Yeah.
It's a steel deck plate block. So what I did is I cut the whole, basically like what they do on a diesel block. So they'll cut that whole sleeve or the top of the block portion out, and then actually put the sleeves in it. And the sleeves are almost integral into the plate, and then the whole assembly goes in together. So just trying to rigid up the block, and this has we made billet caps for it. Did a full CNC port on the cylinder heads, saw the valve train, and then so we give it to Vengeance as a complete long block, and then Jay and the guys at Vengeance do all the tune work, do all the EFI, the fabrication work, the turbo stuff. Turbos are down in here nice and tight. Where is that? Let's see, high side. So wastegate's right there, and then outlet. So
Yeah, the wastegate's dumped straight down to the ground.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so
tight, and then an intercooler.
Open the door here.
Yeah. And a big IC 4000 air cooler. So this thing's still on gasoline. And Ned also has one of my SMXs
Yes.
in a different Viper.
Deep into construction.
Yeah, deep into construction for a drag and drive car. So that's going to be super cool. So a blue Viper, is it the same body style, the same year type deal?
Gen 5.
Same as Gen 5.
13 launches, so blue with the white stripes up and over the hood.
Yeah, blue with the white stripes. That'll be super cool.
Really pretty. Really
Yep.
pretty. Yep.
And so So that'll have our SMX in it, which is going to be really neat too. So still doing V10 stuff and SMX version of it. So it's going to be super cool. So you getting ready to make a pass here real quick?
Yeah, so I'm sure he's going to check all this stuff. But the challenge with this car, right, we go from half mile to quarter mile to roll racing. And
Yes.
we do really well at all the events. My wife keeps telling me, pick one and do one, but I'm loving the variety. And so having the power plant in there and this combination, we can kind of dial it up, dial it down.
Yep.
We're running a 275 in the back today, big, tall gear for long, slow pull.
Yep.
At the drag strip, we run a 325 or 350, depending on the event.
Yep.
And then we change tire combinations.
What's it been in a quarter?
701 at 200.
701 at 200. So close to the 690s.
We backed it up with another 701 at 200. We went, come on. It's like we are so we've not had our 6 yet.
Yep. Got to get a 6. So
Gotta get a 6.
what's this car weigh?
We're putting in at 3580.
3580. Yeah. So still a heavy car.
For a race car, yes, but stock Viper, pretty down close to what we got it out and put it back in with the cage and the turbos and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so not far off the stock weight.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. All right. Well, we're gonna go up there and watch you make a pass. So.
All right, thanks, Steve. Appreciate all the
bud.
support.
All right, man,
Appreciate
thanks.
it. Thank you.
So I'm here with our underground, not those are the underground guys. This is our Dallas performance stuff. So this is all the Lamborghini stuff that we've been working on. That's Dave Perlman.
Howdy.
That's Jeff Bianchi.
How you doing?
So Jeff has the green car that has one of our engines in it. That is a is that a billet? Did we do a billet? That's a billet block car too. So how fast is it? How fast you go last time out in that?
The fastest it's been was Taylor 248,
Okay.
and last time was what we were on 220.
It's almost 230, I think it was.
230, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna go faster today?
Yeah,
We're
this-
definitely.
his
We're gonna
car-
go. Somebody's gonna go faster.
I don't know who. We've got Mario, who broke the
Yeah.
European record, half-mile record, and he's in town. And you built his motor, and
Yep.
he's the man now in Europe, and I'm having him drive this car, which is over 3,000 horsepower, and see if we can get a U.S. or world record, actually. So,
Yeah. So this was I think this was actually the first billet block engine deal that we did.
Yeah.
Then this is so this is Dave's car, personal. Now this one's also got billet block, and so this one we made 3,000 or a little over 3,000 horsepower on the dyno with. Jeff's would actually do the same thing. We just never have leaned on it that hard yet. And then Dave was just saying that if you look over at the little guy over there in the right there, beep, that's Mario. Now Mario also has an engine that we did. So we do the engines. Dallas does the install, does all the tuning, does everything else. We'll dyno them, engine dyno them just to verify them. But they take care of all the cars, take care of everything that I don't mess with. That is not my business. So we stick the engines. But Mario, we just finished up a combination, and Mario now has the half-mile European record. 234 and a half mile. So Dave flew him in so he could drive this car, because that car is hairy.
It's too much for me.
It's
He's
a lot of
driver,
car.
And I'm just a check writer, so we'll let him drive. And
Yeah.
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, this is a handful of car. So let's take a look at it here real quick. And if you want to look at the engine side of it, you have to go back just a little bit, but you can see this thing making 3,000 horsepower on at our shop. And we do it when we do it at the shop. We actually have a complete system, complete intake manifold, complete turbo system, everything that stays at the shop. And when Dallas gets it back, what they do is they put all the we have it as our dyno stuff is what we do. So when they get it back, then they're putting it in the car, do the transmissions, do everything with to finish the car. Obviously, because I don't work on this stuff. Although someday maybe we'll end up with one. You never know. But super cool stuff. Oh, let's talk to Mario. Mario. So yeah, man, you're on YouTube.
Good morning. Speak German.
So yeah, German. So you are the have the record for the half mile, the European record.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. How fast were you before?
With the old engine, we run 358
Yep.
kilometers per hour.
Yeah. Yeah. So since what's that translate to? Because you went. So you were. That's 230. You just went 234. So what was that in kilometers?
It's 377.
Okay, so you picked up 20 kilometer per hour
Yes.
with a new combination. Yeah. So what we did in Mario's engine is we did our piston and rod package, same cylinder head, same camshaft package, and then you do all the tune work there yourself.
And the firework setup.
What's that? Oh yeah, and we did I do the fire ring setup for the gaskets. So it uses a copper gasket, fire ring, and a receiver groove instead of a Cometic multi-layer style. Yeah. So worked out good. Yes, great.
I don't know.
Good.
We will test it next time with a little bit more power.
Yes. Oh, good. Yeah. So more left on the table. Excellent. All right, and you're gonna be driving Dave's car, so that'll be good. All right.
We will see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, cool, bud.
Okay.
It's nice meeting you too.
Yeah,
Been a pleasure,
thanks.
bud. All right, so I think Clark's up in line and ready to rock and roll. So we'll go up there. Also, turns out we did the engine in the white car too. Didn't know that, but so yeah, all 3 cars are here. So hopefully, I'm not sure what that's just a R8. I doubt we did that one, but anyways, kind of a pretty big variety. So we got the Lamborghini V10, Viper V10, SMX. So here's the guys at Vengeance. So we've been doing a lot more work for Vengeance on Ned stuff and got some other little projects going on. So when Ron comes around, we'll probably hook up with him and go over stuff and talk to him about it. And then obviously Ned's car again. Looks like Clark has probably gotten his way up there, so we better move on up. Hey, I don't know. Can I just go up there, or do I gotta? Yeah.
Yeah, some of the other guys went up there with their little scooters.
Did they go with their scooters?
Yeah, they were right on the.
Oh, they are letting them do burnouts up there. All right, I'm gonna, since I'm riding one-handed on my motorcycle here, I'm gonna shut this off. So it turns out I'm over there talking to the guys at Dallas and missed Clark's pass, but it wasn't anything really worth watching because, is that him? Yeah, that's him. So he's coming back up the road now. And we just wanted to get the first piece of data, super safe, super easy. Only went like 178, they said. So no big deal. And now we'll take a look at the data and I'll show you that. All right, now there's some confusion because maybe it didn't go 178. Guess we're gonna find out here in a little bit. And see, I don't know if you can see the time. Did you get a time, or do you know how fast it went?
Goes on email, I think.
Oh, the email. And I think Amy just went in to check it. So I'll grab the laptop and we'll start looking at info. Oh, and I'll show you the engine here. If you haven't seen this is all over my website. We do this all the time, so there's a whole lot of engine in a little spot.
Ran perfect.
Good, ran perfect. So obviously SMX methanol, and this is drag and drive, man. I mean, I don't know how many thousands of miles it's got on it, but we'll grab the laptop and start looking at some data there, and we'll talk about other stuff. All right, so we got the data log out. It only did go 178, and probably because what Clark's got going on is he has the gear vendor, so it has the overdrive unit locked out, so the gear vendor is on all the time, and it has a 3.0 gear set in it. And you take a look here, that is made the 1-2 gear change at 5,900 RPM. And at, let's see, it should be at pretty low boost, 7 pounds of boost. And then we go to the next gear change. So let me bring up that boost curve right here. So you can see the boost. So that's boost curve. All right. And up at the top of second gear, so that's top of second gear, is he made that gear change at 6,700 RPM. And that was at 14 pounds of boost. And then we'll go over here. Then it makes a big, you can see because on that gear change, so that's 6,900 RPM. Because of the locked up, well, everything, the converter's not locked up, but the gear ratio, everything, and not leaning on it super hard, power-wise, dropped it all the way down to 5,500 RPM. So that's a 1,400 RPM drop, which is a lot. Or not, yeah, 1,500. And it went out the back door at only 6,100 RPM and 16.8 pounds of boost. No timing, super safe. That's all right. So what I think we're gonna do is take the gear vendor out of it and put the regular one in, so we'll lose that overdrive ratio because it's a little too much. This is basically the mile setup, and just was trying that out. So I think we're gonna take that out, and or we might go out with one more hit here and see what we can do, and then come back and change it. So we'll come back and show you some more stuff, and I'll go see if Ned's gone or what everybody else is going. To give you a better idea too of what this, when I'm looking and you see a gear change, you know, at 6,700 RPM. This motor will normally run at 8,500 to 9,000 RPM to make power. So the smaller SMX, that 525 like this, so on the drag strip, this thing is, we're trying to shift this thing at like 8,000 to 85, and then we do, usually when it's hauling mail, it'll go out the back door at 9,000 RPM or so. So we're gonna change the gear drive out, definitely gonna do that, because just got that mile set up, and probably would not, no matter how much power I throw at it, it probably wouldn't really like this gear ratio too much, because with a 3.0 gear and the overdrive ratio, it's probably the same as like a 250, 242 gear. So really super low. Hard to get stuff, a 4,000 pound car moving like that. Clark's getting the car up in the air here so he can change the gear vendor out. You might like to see what's underneath this car. So this car, radiator's in the back. Underneath. Works surprisingly well. Obviously because they're doing driving and whatnot. And see what we got going on here. Gonna keep raising it up. Oh, sorry. Push it forward?
Yeah.
All right. There you go. So, one of the benefits of having a trailer with a lift in it, so he can get in here and get underneath it. As soon as he gets the rest of the way up in the air, I'll show you the rest underneath the car. I haven't even been underneath the car in quite a while. Then we'll go down and see what when the Lamborghinis and the of Dallas Performance and Vengeance are going. This is actually the water pump right here. Boy, that's kind of, what's holding that up? Is there a...
I got a mount. I got this strap on.
Yeah, I need some kind of strap right there. Coolant tubes. And here is the gear vendor that he's going to change out. So this is the overdrive unit. That's what that is right there. So we're going to change this overdrive unit for the mile races is locked up. So you don't have to shift it or do anything. It's just always locked up, so it's always in overdrive. So first gear, second gear, third gear, it's always in overdrive. So gonna take that out, and so put the one in that you can just disable. Here's his catch pan, not full of billet aluminum rods. So because this has the original rods in it, the normal ones. So, anyways, there you go. That's it. Clarky's taking this thing out. So, Ned just went out and made a pass. Went 177 NA. So, he's actually happy about that. They're trying to fix the speed sensor right now because the speed sensor wasn't working. So, it doesn't set off any of the timers, doesn't set off any boost control. So, it literally went down the track just on wastegate NA. So, 177. So, they're fixing their sensor and going to figure that whole deal out. Dallas is about ready to go up and make a hit and see how that goes, and go back over here to Clark, and should be getting the gear bender out of it by now, and go up and making our hit on that. Kind of it's a different world around here, you know, so sometimes you got to get out. Like I said in that last video, I got to get out my hole every once in a while, and like doing these half-mile event kind of stuff always kind of gets you out there. This guy's car is rolling away without him in it. That's always good. And yeah, you know what I mean, all the Lamborghini stuff, and then shoot, you know, the American stuff, a lot of all-wheel drive, you know, like I said, the Lamborghini, GTRs, all that kind of crud. Still pretty neat deal. Even this fair lane right here, which I really like this fair lane. Kind of a nicely done car. Probably need a little polish, but kind of like that wheel and tire combo for some reason. This thing appeals to me. I haven't seen what's under the hood or anything, but just saw the car sitting out here. And like I said, we're just waiting for guys to go up. We're gonna do a little following behind. There's Ned. There's Clark. Who else is up here? I don't think any of the Dallas Performance guys are up here yet. So we'll see what these sound like. I always think they have an odd, peculiar sound. The V10 stuff does, but I think they sound better when they're all spun up. I think Clark pulled in the wrong lane because we were right behind him, right behind Ned. Listen to that tractor sounding thing, it's amazing. There in the beginning, it looked like. And 223, spinning the tire like that, like crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah,
it's crazy. And here comes Clarky. I take it on Ned's, they probably, or that's not Clark. What the heck? That's not Clark. Back at it, since obviously that's not Clark. I think what's going on with Ned's there is obviously I don't think they got their speed sensor working. They said they would just disconnect it and just let him drive it, figure it out on its own. And probably looks like that's what they did. Now Clark is up. Of course, he's not in the water, so I don't know if he's planning. He's probably gonna try doing burnout, but nope, I guess not. So it should still be quite slow. Oops, sorry. Really looks like a little small tired car out there, doesn't it? So let's go figure that out. Alright, so here's the data log after that pass, and it's like, well, what the heck? Why'd the thing only go 183? I figured it should at least, all I wanted to do is just go 200 so I can get a good data log, you know, a good drive shaft curve on. And I come back and I go, I connected to it at first. Now, always remember this, can't do it when I'm not connected to the car. But you connect to the car and go online, and I see, oh, there is a difference between what was in the laptop and what was in the car. There should not be a difference. I just sent what was in the laptop to the car before he made the pass, so there should not have been a difference. So I got from ECU to see what program it actually ran. It ran the old program, crapola, obviously. It was the same program that went 178, went 183 without the gear vendor in it. So that's a little interesting to know. So it ran everything exactly the same, except it did another deal where right here, so you can see the boost curve is doing something funny. I'm not sure why it's dropping down right there, and then it wants to make this drop on the gear change. I'm not sure if it's just because the engine is dropping off engine RPM so hard, which is possible because you're like 15 pounds of boost right there in the top of second gear. And then probably the bigger deal is then I found out that I still had a timing retard in it. It's like, wait a minute, what in the ever-living world would it be at, where is it at? 16 degrees of timing right there. So 16 degrees of timing, it's like, no, that should never be 16 degrees of timing. So obviously the thing must have a modifier on. So I go back into the program, that original program, not the one that I sent into it, and sure enough, it had a spark modifier. I already took it out. So what it had was, it had 8 degrees of timing. Oops. Had 8 degrees of timing coming out of it as soon as it got over 150 degrees of air temperature. Well, since this is methanol, we no longer have an intercooler on it. So obviously it's going to get up to high temperature. So that was a residual thing left over from the gas tune-up. So took that timing retard out, put in the new boost curve, and I think what happens, pretty sure what happened is I put the tune-up in the car, but I didn't cycle the switch, the key switch, or the EFI switch. When you don't cycle that EFI switch, and then Clark killed battery power, it didn't take the tune. So I dumped it in, never cycled power, he cut battery power, it just reverted back to the original tune. So, not a big deal. You can see right here I was calling for 24 degrees of timing. Right there, so that's where it was running. I was calling for 24 and it only gave it 16, so that's a boatload of horsepower right there. Sorry for the blurry. There we go. So I got it dumped in, cycled the key power, went in, rechecked it, shut it off, turn it back on, shut it off, turn it back on, make sure it's all there. Looks good. And I think I might even check it one more time after he kills battery power. But he really shouldn't have to kill battery power. Not sure why he's doing that. So I think we're all done here, ready to go up and make another pass. I think I'll run down and see what Ned's got going on, since he just went 223 on his first boost pass in the old Viper, and that thing was just smoking the tire. That wasn't too bad for blasting the tire off of it. Holy crap.
That power with that motor with no traction control, you get to feel it. It is, it's humbling as compared to how it was.
How many pounds of boost is that?
That was 35.
35, okay.
Top of third though, so we probably 15 to 20 in first, 20, 25, and we ramped to 35 in third.
Yep.
The converter did not lock because it was speed sense, so we just realized that. I went singing for the traps. He hasn't looked at the log yet. I bet you I was 7,900.
Yeah.
Maybe it felt like it was singing on the dashboard.
Gotcha.
Had to stab 3 times. So,
Yeah.
You know,
I actually was videoing it from behind, seeing what you're doing.
Yeah, stepped out.
Yeah.
So, it's all
Yeah, that's crazy.
oil pressure, temperature, water, everything's happy.
Everything's happy?
Everything's happy.
You guys do a plug read on it?
Jay does from time to time, not in a while. So that's if you built it. That's if you built it.
All right.
Go for it if you want to pull a plug.
Yeah, let's pull a plug and just take a look at it real quick. So I'm gonna pull a plug and just kind of verify what stuff looks like. All right, so here goes Clark for second. Actually third pass, sorry. Hoping this goes better. But that's why we're here, making passes. That's what I want to do, is like just round robin this car. I actually would have liked to have made a pass a little bit earlier, but you know, there's stuff you got to do, and Clark does all of himself, so it takes time. But hopefully, and it's really leaving just so darn soft right now. But you know, he's basically just leaving off idle. Should be able to hear it. See what he did. Well, went 207, so I mean that's okay. That's still a really soft tune. 207's pretty good, so that's okay. Let's go turn it up. That should be like, you know, maybe 20 pounds of boost. I'll see what it is. All right, so we got the data log up from that 207 mile an hour pass, and so what we're looking at here is it's actually made a little bit more than what I thought it was going to. And I think it's because I'm still got this thing so safe with fuel and timing. Let me get that shadow out of there. This is our timing line as it's going down. Boost is going up. That it starts, I really thought it should have maybe made 25 at most is what I was kind of planning on. And it was 24. Right there in this flat area, which was what I was figuring, and ramping up through here. So you can see that down here it's struggling to build boost, which this motor's always kind of struggled to build boost. 3500, 3600, most engines are that are not on any rev limiters, just driving down the road. That's just normal turbo lag, which is basically what we're doing here. Has full timing. We're not taking anything out right there, so it doesn't start taking timing out until it starts building boost. And right through here, it actually did spin in the top of first gear. That's what that little spike in the drive shaft curve is. So I might tame that down just a little bit. And then it starts building some more boost through here, and then it just kind of maintains out there. So because it's so safe and doesn't have enough timing in it, in order to make a turbo spool and make more boost, you take timing out of it and you add fuel, and that will make the turbo spin faster. That's how we make the turbo spin faster and spool up on the starting line. Well, I think I got so much, it's going, it's 200 miles an hour down the track. It's got a whole bunch of air going into the turbo. I got fuel, way rich, way safe, and it's got too much timing getting taken out of it because we're at 20 degrees of timing right there, and it starts going down to 17 degrees of timing, which is not enough, and it starts making the boost spike. Well, it spiked the boost and hit my safety limiter because I had an initial safety of just 30 psi just so the boost controller didn't get away from us. But that's what happens there. So you can see here, oops, if we look, I can show you the dome pressure. So dome pressure is nice and steady right through here. Oops, don't touch the screen. Right there. So it's nice and flat all the way across here, and then jumps up, and I just got it too aggressive here. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why it's just unhappy right there. So I'm gonna progressively add dome pressure boost so it kind of follows this line, and then hopefully won't have this little dip right here, and looking to go out the back door at the same, but hoping to accelerate harder all through here, and then turn my safety limiter off and put 2 degrees of timing back in it, or so it won't lose all that timing right there. So we're gonna go dump this thing in and see if it'll go faster than 207. We'll go down there and look at Ned's car. Turns out, of all places to break rear end stuff, he breaks the rear end at the half mile track. But that car is still an IR car, and it is. They're trying to fix it, trying to see if they can scrounge up some parts, because that thing's definitely, I think the thing could be all over 240. But I can see him right down there. Look between the trailer and the car. See that orange Viper in there that's all jacked up? That is Ned right there, still tore down. Gonna go down and see what's going on with the Lamborghinis, and we'll be back. We're up making another pass, so hopefully it's still on low boost and still trying to figure some stuff out. A little better. Still doesn't sound right. We'll see what it does for a mile an hour here. Yeah, just sorry, 191. So it's just super slow, but it sounded a little better, but not good. We just went to 207, so should be better, but you just never know. And let's see where we're at. Since we're not even really bringing it up on RPM at the start, it's a little tough for the car because it is in first gear for 7 seconds that last pass. It's so lazy through there because you can't build boost with it. Little spin there. I quit. Yep, so for all things to break rear end and half mile event. So I haven't seen what all was broke on it, but we'll probably, it says it's just making too much power. But it's an IR rear end, so we're trying, you can see the whole center section's out of there. But they found some parts and we're figuring out how to go fix it at a rear end shop not too far away from here. So they'll be done for today, but it looks like they'll be finishing up tomorrow. So this was obviously too hot, as in too much power. There's a little
Spicy, I guess I say.
a little spicy, aggressive, hey? Did you roll back into it and just knocked it off or something? The tire off again, or it just blew the tire away?
I just blew the tire away, so I decided I'll just click in the
gear vendor to embed it now so everyone's happy.
Oh, look at that.
Hey,
Oh,
saved
yeah.
something.
All right,
We're going to use the gear vendor.
we'll have to go in there and detune this some before we split. Although, we might be able to make another pass on it. All right, so something a little interesting, or at least I think you'll see is interesting, is if you look right here, so this, let's see, it's a little harder to close. Let's see here. Close comparison. Come on. There, this was the 207 pass. Alright. So, now I can overlay, so you see the boost curve, you see the engine RPM, you see the shift, you see the drive shaft curve, right? That little bit of spin right there, and this little stuff here is probably all basically just borderline spinning itself, which is problematic in its own. It just doesn't have enough down pressure. So here, we'll bring up the one that he just spun in. Now, really all we're concerned about is this area right here, which is our first gear. All right. Now you can see here, oops, that this is, the red is engine RPM. It is following absolutely identical. Engine timing is following identical. The drive shaft curve is actually following identical. But right here, I was trying to put a little more boost in it because I asked Clark, said, hey, so you think it'll take more boost in the top of first gear so we can get some more momentum? Yeah, sure. So I raised this boost up right here. And that difference in boost is 4 pounds. So it had four more pounds of boost, which is probably a little bit more than I wanted. And you can see right here the boost goes up. And as it starts increasing, that there is a difference of 2 psi difference in boost. Right there. Where'd it go? Dang it. I hit the wrong button. Sorry. There you go. That is basically a 2 psi difference in boost. Right there. And right there is where it starts to spin the tire. Engine RPM starts going up. And there you see the drive shaft curve starting to go up. So that little bit of boost right there did that drive shaft curve, which made it start spinning like crazy. Engine RPM goes up, spins way up there. The dotted line, obviously Clark aborted the pass. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that boost back out, and what I'll do here is I'll show you that on here. Let's see, go back down to first gear. Or actually, you can even look down here. Let's see. Nope, won't do it. Yeah, first gear. See the first gear going along there? Now this is what I just changed it to. So it's just flat. It's gonna make the gear change and then go up in the second gear. So this is the first gear boost curve, this is second gear boost curve now, and not what it was before. I had it ramping in and trying to go from here down nice and gradual down to there. It needs this area right here in order to keep the wheel from spinning. So I'm not sure if you guys find that really interesting or not, but I know it's technical and some people don't like tech. But anyways, that's how you're gonna get your car to go down track. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take that back out, try putting a little, try making it a little more aggressive just after this, you know, up in this whole area here. And maybe we can, just gotta get faster, but you gotta get, let's see, but you gotta be able to get this thing momentum, so you're not just knocking the tire off up here. I can put 55 pounds of boost, I can put 60 pounds of boost in it up here, and it'll just blow the tire right clean off it. So throwing more power at it in high gear doesn't work, because it'll just overpower the tire and just kill it. This is on a air strip, it's not on a drag strip, and even on a drag strip it probably knock it off. So that's why you need to get this thing going as fast as possible in the early spot, so you can put more power to it, so it doesn't kill the tire. So you can see I just fixed this little hump right here. Everything's all cool, and we'll go dump this in the car and go try making another pass before we go. Well, let's see if taking that power back out of first gear will help the thing get down a track. I think so. I got a little more into second gear as it gets into second gear, so it makes the same shift, same boost level, and then gradually ramp boost in. So hopefully it'll take it, because I mean, in order to go faster, you got to make more power, or change car. You know. There we go. Ooh, a little loose out there. Let's see. No time. What the heck? Hey, no speed. What the heck? That's the other lane. Huh. I don't know. Guess we'll figure it out.